Well, I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the Donner Circle Looper pedal. So you can see this thing is pretty cool. Got a lot of functionality on this cool new product from Donner. So as I look at this, just like a lot of Donner pedals, it's pretty sturdy. So hopefully you got to see the unboxing video. So I went through a lot of a high level of the features that this comes with, but want to take a little bit of time now to walk through a few of those features for you and give you a look at what it's like to play the Donner Circle Looper. So again, would recommend if you get a chance to take a look at the unboxing video for this. Give a little bit of background on some of my thoughts on other Donner products, but also how this one fits into their current lineup of loopers. Okay, well let's dive right in with the Donner Circle Looper. So to start with, as I mentioned, I will start with the looper function here, then I'll move to the rhythm, and then I'll show you how to use both together. So a couple things that really stand out about this pedal is it kind of fills a niche that isn't really filled right now with a lot of other pedals, in that you get up to 40 memory slots, you've got the rhythm included. The rhythm includes 100 different rhythm patterns. You've got the two switches here, both for looping, and then they serve a different function for the rhythm. And of course you can combine the two and it will record the rhythm with it, where, for example, the Boss RC3, you can have the rhythm for when you're recording it, but the actual recording will not include the rhythm. So say you were going to export it later. So I will jump right in with the looper functionality. So if you start here, you've got three options up here which you select via pressing in the knobs here. So I will say real quickly, the knobs don't seem super stable. You can kind of see how they shift here. So they're not terribly strong, but they should hold up. If you're doing some crazy gigging, then maybe it'll get some wear, but usually these loopers are really good for a practice setting, so you won't have any trouble at all for a long time. But this is a new pedal, so we'll have to see what the durability is. I've had good luck overall with Donner pedals. So okay, but anyway, jumping in with the three options here, we have the memory, which as I mentioned, has 40 different memory slots. We have a level, which controls the level of the loop in relation to the rest of your effects chain. And then you've got this fade out option, which I'll show you in a second, which just shows once you hit the stop button on your loop, it'll fade out your loop, which could be really handy for at the end of a song or end of a set, that kind of thing. So, okay, well I will jump right in. As well, I guess I'll go with these switches. Pretty standard. You've got your record, and then you click it again to dub over it. As I mentioned, the recording length is 4 minutes maximum, which should be pretty good for the most part. If your initial loop is longer than 4 minutes, then you're probably in the minority. But then with this alternative switch here, you can stop it and then you can play it again, and then if you hold it down after stopping it, it will clear. If you hold it down while it's playing, then it will erase your most recent loop, again, which is pretty handy. Okay, so I will jump right in here, record a quick, very simple loop for you, so you get an idea, and then we can continue on our journey. I will note I am playing a Fender Telecaster Nashville edition. I'm playing with the neck pickup only, and I'm playing through a Fender Champion 40-watt amp, clean settings. Okay, so there you got your basic loop. What's really cool with and this is where the circle comes from, but you can see as it progresses how far along you are in the loop, which is kind of a cool function. I've gotten into looping a little bit without having that, so I guess I don't really need it. You kind of know your loop after you record it, but it is kind of handy to see it visually, particularly I would assume if you're newer to looping. So as you hear, pretty simple loop, not perfect, but it'll get the job done for now. So then again, you could do two things. If you're just practicing, maybe flip the position, add a little gain. Okay, there it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop that one. So you can see it stopped. Hit it again, it'll play. I'm not going to go through all your standard looper functions. You can search online and see that, but pretty standard as far as loopers go. But again, you get the 2 switches, which is really handy. Okay, so it's recorded. So for example, you can switch to a different one. Have messed around and have a few other loops here, but go back to 8. You can see our beautiful loop is still alive, but it's kind of low. So maybe you can see this is about 6.5 decibels below the standard loop. So if I crank that up, there it is. It equals the standard signal chain, and you can drop it down to taste. Okay, so again, I'll demonstrate the fade out feature. If I add that to 5 seconds, so a little bit of a longer one, when I hit the stop button, you'll notice it fade out. So again, pretty handy if you're ending your song, and not something that I've seen in a lot of other loopers. So I think that pretty much does it for the loop portion of this. So we'll switch over now to the rhythm side. So you switch between the two simply by clicking in. Both these buttons you can turn, but you can also click. And so the 3 options here at the top, as you click the button, you toggle between the 3. So the first is select. This is where you'll select your genre, and then also the type. There's 10 different options or patterns within each genre, so that's how you select. So you click this to select, and then you just scroll through the different options here. Yep, so you got metal, rock. I'll go through those in just a second. Your second one here is your volume, so it just controls the volume of that your rhythm will be. And then you've got your beats per minute, so then you can either adjust that here, this knob, or you've got your tap tempo here. So say you want a real slow rock beat, okay, or you want to go just hog wild here. Okay, cool. So if you go back to select, I'll just go through this very quickly. There are a ton of options. Get this back to somewhat normal. There are a ton of options. As I mentioned just a minute ago, there are 10 different genres and 10 different patterns within each genre. So if I go through this, you'll see we've got rock, there's 10 different patterns, metal, disco, funk, blues, hip hop, jazz, Latin, fusion, and then lastly metronome, which is just a simple click. 12/8 time is crazy. 6/8 time. Okay. Again, our tempo is pretty high there. There you go. So it's just a simple click metronome, but kind of a handy option because you've got all these different time signatures. As you'll notice, some of the patterns will have different time signatures in them, 3/4, 4/4, but most of them are in 4/4 time. So there you go. As I mentioned, volume is here, so I'll give you an example of that. So really, they're really nice samples, actually. They're really nice drum samples. I think they sound really natural, and honestly, I just got a Beat Buddy pedal recently as well and compared it to that, and I think the sample quality is pretty similar. You get a lot more options with a Beat Buddy, but it's also simply for beats. So this wouldn't be a replacement necessarily for that, but it just kind of depends on what your usage is. Okay, so like I said, you've got a ton of options here you can scroll between, so I won't go more into that. So yeah, once you click this, you can change the tempo like that. So essentially when you're in this mode, all you're hearing is the drum. So what's nice about this is even if you don't want to use the looper function, you can still just turn this on, get a nice little beat. And then you can just practice along with the beat. So it's a great option to work on your tempo and your timing. So great option there. Now that I've gone over both sections, if you click this middle button, this is the merge button. So it connects the two. So if you keep this selected, it will still just play your beats. So you can just get it all lined up. Say I want something a bit faster. That seems really nice. So I'll stop that and I'll switch it back to the looper. This button indicates that it's showing that once you click this button, it will start with the tempo as well, or with the rhythm as well. So I've already recorded some here, so I'm just going to clear that. Nothing too special there. Okay, so we've got a clean slate. Now, if you remember, if I click back over here, I'm on the pop drum genre with the first pattern. So that conveys over when you switch it here. Again, this indicates that you're merged. And so we'll give it a start. So one quick thing to note here, once you hit the record button, when you have the rhythm engaged with the looper, is you'll get 4 beats, so 1 bar of lead-in letting you know when you're about to start actually recording, which is really great, so it sets you up to align with the drum beat as well. So I'll give you a quick example. Okay, so you can hear drums are still engaged. I'll show you can adjust both the loop level and the rhythm level even at this point. Okay, so now you're rolling. Hit stop, so you'll notice I do have the fader enabled, so when I hit stop you heard that fade. So most of the time when practicing you probably won't need that, but could be handy when you're performing. So as you notice, it's already been recorded, so no additional step to record or kind of save that recording. So again, if you go back, okay, toggling through the different memories, okay, back to 8, if you go, it's still there. Cool. Okay. So I think that that covers most of it. Just a couple of housekeeping items as well. You'll notice it's stereo in and out. And there's also an extra port here at the top, if you'll notice, to where you can plug in an external foot switch. Why would you want an external foot switch, you ask, if you've already got these two? Well, it's handy because it will allow you, depending on your functionality, to toggle between your different memory slots, or it will let you toggle between your different rhythm patterns, which is pretty cool. So I may have to pick one of those to try out. So I think that just about does it for our hands-on demo here. Really hope it was helpful for you. Again, this is the Donner Circle Looper. Overall, I definitely recommend this pedal. I can't speak to the longevity of it, but it seems pretty well built, and I think the functionality right now is really unique. I don't think there's any other looper on the market that has the same combination of features as this. Particularly, you know, a few highlights that come to mind is you've got 100 different drum patterns between 5 different genres. On the looping function, you have the 2 switches built in, which makes it so much easier to use without having to try and double tap to stop and things like that. You've got a tap tempo built in. You've got this nice fade out feature. When you record the loop, it will include the drum pattern, which is really handy, and really just a lot of great features here. So would definitely recommend it. Give it a try, and hopefully it's something that will help you. Well, thanks so much for watching this video. Again, really hope it was helpful. If you want to share the love, please subscribe to this channel. Check out some more gear reviews. There's going to be a lot more coming. You can check out some other gear reviews that are already up. And then please watch for other future items. Feel free to share this video, like, comment. Would love to hear from you.